Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early mornings LALATE, the 6 a.m. edition. You made it to the weekend, ready to crush the Saturday? We're just done with Thanksgiving. Now we're on to the weekends. It's sort of like we're on vacation, sort of like Congress. It's just, Black Friday was yesterday, and it was black. No one showed up. It's sort of like an empty room. Sort of like, looking for the stylist in Nancy Pelosi's hairstyle. There was just nothing there. And Wall Street's very nervous about it. And now they're saying get stimulus out, as though they did not realize that before. Captain Obvious walked into Wall Street and said, you know what? No one got stimulus. They had no money to spend on Black Friday. Really? That's really fascinating. Sort of makes you wonder. Are Wall Street analysts economists or patrons at the casino? Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early mornings LA with big updates about your second stimulus check, your second stimulus package, $2,400 if you're on SSI and SSDI and Social Security and rental benefits, and that big money that I continue to get viewers, despite the vacations that Congress seems to take by the hour. I'm not taking a vacation. And I'm not going anywhere today as well. And so thank you for the nice comments overnight. And boy, if you've not subscribed, please do. Because I'm working to get you money right now. Not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. But right now, this is money that's owed to you. This is your money. This is free money. This is CARES Act 1 money. This is money dedicated to states that was given to the cities and counties for you in March. And now they're rushing to pass it out very quickly because it's use or lose and it's about to go back. And so I'm fighting to get you this money. And the great news today is I now have 7 volunteers, and they continue to grow as more people step up to really ensure that you're getting this type of relief. So please subscribe to this channel because I'm fighting to get you rent, food, and other types of free money right now. Also like this video. If you're new to Early Mornings LA, wow, it's a live chat. So on the side is an instant premiere featured live chat. So you can follow along with your profile friends, and it's only featured on this early morning show and the one at 6:30 right after this. If you tune in when the show debuts, you can chat with your friends, ask questions for people that you need help for providing grants. And I see a lot of viewers are sort of stepping up and helping one another, which is the spirit of this channel. That's the incredible testament of this channel, the spirit of helping. Ultimately, it's always the same familiar faces every morning, about 60,000 viewers every day. And please join me at the bottom of the hour for the continuation of this video at 6:30 a.m. With that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that the economic numbers yesterday are expected to be announced today. But the initial optics, the initial look, the initial overview of what happened on Black Friday were bad. Wall Street was expecting some traction in the stores, some activity, and it looked like a ghost town. And it was not so much because of COVID. It was because of lack of stimulus, unemployment. And so what's going on right now is that Wall Street's saying, this is just a time bomb. You have to send out stimulus. And the real push may happen on Monday this coming week. And I'm going to tell you why. Because that's when you're going to see the introduction of Janet Yellen. She's going to be the new Treasury Secretary that will be replacing Steve Mnuchin. And she's an economist. She's a former head of the Federal Reserve. And she has been doing this for more than many of us have been alive. And she knows what pushes the economy and what doesn't push the economy. Guess what? Lack of consumer confidence, a lack of consumer spending, a lack of unemployment benefits, a lack of stimulus checks is just not a good situation. And ultimately, what is apparent at the moment is that states are making a fortune. They're making a lot of money. And the claim that California and New York was going to go bankrupt because of the pandemic is just not true. It's not true because they're making a fortune on other parts of this industry, like housing starts, new housing starts, technology, biocare, and, certain types of things. And they're just making a fortune on it. But what's not making a fortune is the other parts of the economy, like retail yesterday, which literally took a nosedive. Today is Small Business Saturday, and to the extent that you can, I encourage you to support small businesses because that's ultimately the core of our country. Moreover, I have a special heart close to small businesses. That's what put this channel on the map. This channel started with me helping get people EIDL, which is a small business, is an Uber or Lyft driver. I want to make that very clear to you. If you're an Uber or Lyft driver, a Grubhub, or an Airbnb operator, you are a small business owner. You are just a solo. A small business owner is a solo. And if you've not gotten an EIDL because of this channel, you need to get an EIDL. If you've not gone on PUA, you need to consider going on PUA and do it retroactively if it's applicable. And if you've not gotten those grants, you need to get those grants. What's important to understand is that on a Small Business Saturday, as we sit here and we look at the lack of stimulus checks going out, what's going to happen? Wall Street and myself and the Republicans believe that stimulus package is coming. And I'm believing that based upon the belief that congressmen will act rationally. If they act irrationally, it will never come. But acting rationally means a stimulus check, extension of UI and PUA, hazard pay, some eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance, and some PPP. That's all you really need right now as an emergency stimulus package. That's what Wall Street's shouting loud and clear, especially after seeing yesterday's activity. Today we will see the numbers from Black Friday, and they're not expected to be good. And that will basically tie in the argument that stimulus is the culprit. Lack of providing stimulus is why Americans were not spending. People spend when they have money in the bank. They spend money when their consumer confidence, and they spend money when they know their situation going forward is going to be similar to where they are now. Well, guess what? People are not stupid. Certainly the viewers of this channel are not stupid. Everyone knows their unemployment benefits are expiring. Everyone knows that PUA or UI is going away. What some viewers do not know, and I've seen your comments in DM and they've just been shocking, where they've woken up and then suddenly Kentucky gets rid of extended benefits and another state just gets rid of UI or PUA weeks, and they just sort of thought, wait a second, I thought that was going away in December. It's going away in November. So suddenly a lot of people are sort of waking up and seeing a stark reality that's actually worse than the worst that they were already envisioning. And what's important to understand is that Wall Street says this is enough. You got to get the stimulus out. You have to get the stimulus out. So Mitch McConnell and Steve Mnuchin says that they will be working on a stimulus package and that it will be going out in the next few days. And that'll be narrowly tailored. It'll be about $500 billion, and that it'll do the deal. And that is what Wall Street is embracing. And that's what I'm embracing, along with saying that there's $800 billion still at CARES Act 1 money still at SBA that can be repurposed as stimulus check. Yes, the president can still do executive orders all the way down to the last minute. Yes, he can send out stimulus checks. And a lot of things he can do for executive orders just sort of make sense at the moment. He can do the $5,000 stimulus check. He can do an eviction moratorium extension because he wrote one. All he has to do is just extend it. He can do a mortgage forbearance extension. And he can do another round of LWA. The question is whether he will or he'll just let Congress do it. What's important to understand is that Mitch McConnell is doing this second stimulus November work with Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows, which is reassuring because there have been times in the last few months where they have been at odds, and you fully understand that because I've documented a lot on this channel. They have been locking heads before. They're not locking heads now. So that's good. And the reason why it's good is because ultimately when there is a deal and it lands on the president's table, he will sign it because he had his team in the room negotiating with Mark Meadows and Mitch McConnell. And ultimately, I do believe that the president would like to leave on a positive note that he tried to help this economy at the 11th hour. He has always said he was going to give you stimulus checks, bigger stimulus checks. And Mark Meadows most recently, just a few weeks ago, said that during the negotiations, Steve Mnuchin went higher than $1,200, upwards of $2,000 a stimulus check. No one has talked that way on the Democratic side. And, at some point, someone has to start shouting and say, what are you doing, Democrats? You talk about spending money, but it consistently sounds like you're not spending money on Americans. Hazard pay ripped apart and thrown away on the latest version of the stimulus package from the Democrats. Stimulus checks reduced to $500. And it just seems like more is taken away by Democrats in some of these proposals than recently. I think that's changing next week with Janet Yellen. No one's going to tell Janet Yellen what to do. And ultimately, Biden is choosing Janet Yellen because she's an economist and she knows how to fix things. And he understands the importance of fixing the situation. The way you fix the situation is stimulus checks. That's what 153 economists on Wall Street said in a letter to Congress this week, which is stimulus checks is the single most important way to fix a situation because it gets in people's hands the fastest and it's uncomplicated and they get the money directly in their hands versus going to something else that then sends you to something else that eventually lands in your hands. This goes right to a person. That's why the word for the expression stimulus checks is direct cash payments or direct payments because it means it's literally directly to you. And that's why economists think it's so important. And I do as well. So this morning, when you're done with this video, share this video and tag it with Mitch McConnell's communications director. Say, Mitch, hey, send out the stimulus check of $5,000 with that CARES. Well, you don't have to say five. You don't have to even use numbers. Send out stimulus check, a standalone stimulus check with that CARES Act 1 unused money at PPP. Just send it out right now. That will do it as a standalone bill. That'll get us going. Next, SSI and SSDI and Social Security Railroad benefits. That $2,400, I think it's going to happen. And with the 20% step up and the benchmark, I think it's going to happen. Someone last night said, what's the benchmark? And what does that mean when you say benchmark? And what do you mean by step up? Sometimes I use complicated words, so I'm sorry. First, they want to start with the number you have and increase that up to 20% and then get it to a point. And that's your new monthly lifetime. That's incredible. Then with that new higher number, then they want to say, okay, we want to tie your benefits to a economic indicator. And that economic indicator will move as prices of goods and things like that in the economy go higher. What's happening now is that as things that you buy, like milk and eggs, go up, the economic indicator is not moving. And so things start to cost more, you pay more, and the economic indicator is still not moving. And suddenly you're like, why am I not getting more for my benefits? Because the economic indicator is not moving. So they want to use a different economic indicator that moves up as cost of milk and eggs moves up. Pretty simple? Yeah, it is pretty simple. So let's turn to something that's also pretty simple. The volunteers, me, you, and getting this money, this CARES Act 1 money. There's now upwards of 6 to 7 volunteers. I'm losing track, and they're all wonderful human beings who have all stepped forward to volunteer their time to help find you the CARES Act 1 money. I drop their names throughout the day consistently in the community page, which I'll drop in a comment in this video. That's youtube.com/LALATE/community, one word. And you'll see one of the posts that talks about subscribing, and you open the post, and it's a very long post, and in there has the volunteers. So they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter, they're on, and you can use Instagram through Facebook, by the way, if you did not know that. And they're there to help you. I'm still getting people, stopping me on the bus stop and stopping me in the street. Can you go look this up for me? I don't have enough time to look it up for you in all the cities and states. That's why I reached out to people. That's why I said, is there anyone that wants to volunteer? And that's the spirit of it. I can tell you what's working and what's not working. This is a Saturday morning. On Thursday night's Purple Power Live, boy, half a dozen people came in and said, I got grants, I got grants, I got grants. I got rent, I got food. I got to tell you, the utility grants are generally a couple $100 to, I would say less than $2,000. The rents are generally about $2,000 and up to about $15,000. And then the food grants, I haven't gotten a number for that for the people who've gotten the food. And then some people have gotten the combo, which is like, you're going out for the delicatessen. Can I have the combo? And so they've gotten rent, utilities, and food. Also, please consider escalated benefits and EIDL. I'll cover escalated benefits in the video right after this. It's important for you to do it. Remember, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Renewable Benefits, you qualify for this CARES Act 1 money. If you're an Uber or Lyft driver, you qualify for all three of the things I talk about in this Right Now money, the CARES Act 1, the escalated benefits, and the EIDL. And if you're just a W-2 person, whether you're employed or unemployed, you qualify for the escalated benefits and for the CARES Act 1 money. With that, if you have questions in today's video, drop them in comments below. I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Meantime, join me at 6:30, about 15 minutes from now, at the bottom of the hour, for the continuations of Early Mornings LA. And as always, subscribe and like this video. And don't miss me at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Mornings LA, the big banana that has big updates across the board. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.